get no worse. I can feel it running out on me. I don't want these to be my last words. All forgotten, 'cause that's all they'll be. Now there's only one thing I can do, fighting till the end like I promised to. Wishing there was something left to lose. This could be the day I die for you. What do you see before it's over? Blinding flashes getting closer. Wish that I had something left to lose. This could be the day I die for you. This could be the day I die for you. This could be the day I die for you.
And it's going to be a bittersweet pill to swallow there for DRX.
Still though, you have to be so excited for DRX this year with what they've been able to do with putting this new roster together, the ideas that they've come in with, freeing on the Taeho, Hyunmin on whatever duelist it is. They have looked so good. Some work to do now, of course, coming into stage 1, but everybody is going to be afraid of that DRX team in Pacific because they are absolutely disgusting when they're at their best. Are absolutely disgusting when they're at their best. But today they were not, and T1 certainly was.
Yeah, just across the board, fantastic performances from everybody here on the side of T1. That's good Lord Izu getting away with it.
I love that he tried the fake Yoru. It didn't matter, nobody saw it, but he got through that razor vine. That was the big part of it.
They didn't know that he was going to be there. Didn't hear a gate crash. No need for a reaction. You can see what it means here to the players. Izu in his own right has been such an emotional player. That first loss he experienced at kickoff in 23. We saw the tears shed there. Now he is elated. What a performance from T1. We'll see more of them in the playoffs. But for now, we'll get ready to hear from one of our winners in our Verizon post-match interview. We've got Jen standing by with none other than Blast.
สวัสดีครับแหกกลับมาอีกครั้งหนึ่งนะครับผมแล้ววันนี้ผมเองก็มาอยู่กับบาสจาก T1 พร้อมกับเจนลีด้วยนะครับผมคำถามแรกเลยจะเข้าเรื่องเลยนะครับผมเชื่อว่าทุกคนอยากรู้เหมือนกันนั่นก็คือคุณรู้สึกยังไงบ้างในการชนะทีมเก่าตัวเองนะครับผม First of all oh okay it's already spicy it's gonna be a little spicy but first of all congratulations let's get into the question How do you feel about being able to achieve this victory against your former team DRX?
버드 선수 승리 축하드리고요. 먼저 친정팀 DRX를 집으로 보내면서 T1이 이렇게 플레이오프에 진출하게 됐는데 기분이 남다를 것 같거든요. 어떤가요?
일단은 이기게 돼서 너무 기쁘고 그 전에 DRX한테 중요한 곳에서 2번 진 것 때문에 더욱더 이기고 싶었는데 그래서 더 기쁜 것 같고요. 또 질 때는 뭐 너무 밉기도 하고 또 너무 축하하는 마음이었지만 지금 이렇게 와서 또 이기니까 너무 좋으면서도 또 탈락시키게 돼서 좀 마음이 한켠으로는 조금 불편한 것 같아요.
Yeah, I'm super happy about this win, but a little bit sad to send the fellow Korean team home. I mean, we lost to them twice this year when it mattered, and to be able to get that revenge and come out on top this time around, obviously it feels good. And when we lost to DRX, I was happy for them for the win too, but I was a little bit angry as well, so it was a little bit of mixed emotion here and there. And picking up this win, it kind of feels the same.
Awesome สำหรับคำตอบนะครับผมรู้สึกว่าการที่ชนะ DRX ได้เนี่ยยังไงเราก็รู้สึกดีแล้วแต่ในขณะเดียวกันก็สงสารนะครับแล้วก็เสียดายที่ต้องเป็นคนที่ส่งทีมเพื่อนกันเองนะจากเกาหลีกลับบ้านแต่ในขณะเดียวกันเนี่ยเราก็แพ้ DRX มา2แมตช์แล้วเหมือนกัน2เกมแล้วเหมือนกันในอดีตจึงทำให้รู้สึกว่าแบบมันก็เป็นการแก้แค้นที่ยอดเยี่ยมเหมือนกันสำหรับเรานะครับท้ายที่สุดมันเป็นความรู้สึกที่มันผสมผสานกันมากกว่าทั้งดีใจและเสียใจในขณะเดียวกันครับผม แต่สำหรับคำถามต่อมานะครับอยากรู้เหมือนกันครับในฐานะที่เราเป็นทีม Pacific ทีมสุดท้ายที่เหลืออยู่เนี่ยเขามั่นใจขนาดไหนที่จะพาชื่อเสียงของทีม Pacific ของเรานะครับโซนของเราไปได้ไกลครับผม And for the next question I would love to ask you because right now you are technically the only team keeping the Pacific spirit alive in Masters Bangkok. I would love to know how confident you are in being the representatives of the APAC region and how confident are you in performing in Masters Bangkok?
이렇게 되면서 퍼시픽의 유일한 희망이 됐습니다. 우승에 대한 각오 시원하게 얘기해 주시죠.
일단은 저희가 처음에 약한 모습 보여줬지만 이제 하나하나 박살내는 모습을 보셨잖아요. 그래서 아마 앞으로 만나는 상대들도 다 이제 숨도 못 쉬게 박살내도록 하겠습니다.
Yeah, we started weak, wasn't our strongest game, but as you guys all got to see, we crushed our enemies one by one. And as we make it further into the tournament, we're just gonna be, no mercy. They won't be able to breathe, and we'll crush them until we get the trophy.
Wow! And I think the fans agree with that. สำหรับคำตอบผมเชื่อว่าก็เป็นไปได้ที่บางคนอาจจะยังไม่เห็นว่าเราเป็นทีมที่แข็งแกร่งที่สุดแต่ผมเชื่อว่าแต่ละทีมที่มาเจอเราก็ร่วงไปทีละทีมเหมือนกันและผมเชื่อว่าต่อจากนี้ทีมไหนก็ตามที่มาเจอเราก็จะร่วงเหมือนกันและเราจะทำให้ผลงานตัวเองเนี่ยยอดเยี่ยมมากขึ้นเรื่อยๆในทัวร์นาเมนต์นี้จะเจอใครก็รอดูครับเพราะพวกเราจะใส่สุดขึ้นเรื่อยๆแน่นอนครับโอ้โหเป็นไงครับสำหรับบทสัมภาษณ์นี้ครับผม and of course that was an amazing game I hope for you the best of luck in the playoffs thank you very much to you too Jen for the translations but that will be it for now from the stage but stay tuned we still have one more match coming up please stay tuned for more Valorant action
What's up, guys? Who's the best team in Korea now? Come on! 물어, 찔 물어.
The human body was built to move, not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
once again to day 5 of Masters Bangkok and our final match of the Swiss stage. It will be between G2 and Team Liquid. I'm your host, Yingsu, and I'm joined once again by Mimi and Kukuka. Now, the people that predicted 4 firsts going through are going to be very sad because T1 managed to pull off that upset.
I'm people, and that was insane the way that T1 dismantled them the first game. The fake clone coming out at Masters too. What a game for T1. I'm so excited to watch them in playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. Them, again, with the double duelist, making their staple even in an international level on a global stage. I absolutely love it.
We do have to talk about this game here, though, because it will be EMEA versus Americas. We've seen this matchup a lot, and we do have the record here for you since franchising on which region has been coming out on top, and it is Americas, but not by like a massively long way.
5 games.
Yeah.
That's significant.
Close, it's close.
But it's not bad. I think that especially things evened out a little bit more last year.
I do see something in front of you still, something you were coping with before.
I have absolutely
Bea.
no idea what you're talking about, but from the beginning of the game, the rivalry between Americas, what was an A, and EMEA has always been present, and I think that when we come into these international events and we ask regionally who they want to go up against, you know, some of the opposing teams, some names.
I think it's also really interesting always because of some of the differences in styles. It always depends a little bit what it is, but here it's like G2 leaning into a lot of some of the very new stuff, while you have ATL who's like coming back out looking like they're playing 2021 Gambit again, and it's still working.
That's a good thing. That's ultimately a good thing.
It is a W for sure.
But the pressure is on for G2, of course. Not only are they the last Americas team here in Bangkok, they also want to be the first Ascension squad to win a global trophy as well. Ahead of Masters, Achilleos had the time to sit down with Valen and Jonah P for a quick look back at their journey.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Achilleos, and I'm sitting by with the lovely Valen as well as Jonah P. Gentlemen, welcome to Bangkok. Just wanted to take a kind of dip into the past a little bit, because at G2, you guys have had a tumultuous journey, let's say, starting from Ascension, making your way into the major leagues here. Second place finishes, so very close to winning titles in the past, but now you're coming into Bangkok as the #1 seed from America. So wanted to kind of like look back into the history books here of the team, of you guys as a core foundation for the squad. And we'll get ready to pull up the first clip here, but this is going to go all the way back to when you guys did ascend. And I want to go ahead and take a look here at round 5 from Haven, which, Valen, I think you've always been touted as like almost maybe the original like fragging IGL. How do you tackle rounds like this, and how do you manage to kind of like just stay in the game so much where you can perform at a high level?
I think, I mean, it's kind of simple for me. I just take it, what's in front of me, I just take it and try to play. Like, I know I'm going to be in a 1v3 situation or 1v2, depends on the round. But yeah, I just think, like, for me to be a consistent, like, fragger, as people like to know, it's just, you got to play the game simply. You can't force things. Just let it come to you, and from there, like, you can be great. So
does that also apply then to how you, as an IGL, are able to utilize your players, like, you know, Jonah? And Jonah, if you could speak to that, like, how do you find the communications, like, when Valen asks you to do something? Is it just that very simple, like, okay, I understand the, you know, what's in front of me, and I have to just tackle this way? Like,
yeah, I think what makes us a great team is when he says something, there's no doubt in our heads, even if it's like a bad call. Nobody will be like, no, I don't think we should do that, I think we should do this. It's just, if it's a bad call, it doesn't matter, we stick with it. And
coming, bro. Yeah. Look at that TP. Bang.
It's a solid.
Did you know I won it after the first kill?
Yeah.
Come on.
I think most of us do when we're watching, you know, whether it's either of you, frankly, alive at the end, because you're both so damn good when it comes down to just clutching out moments like this.
Jonah's crediting me. I want to give a lot of credit to like him and the rest of the guys, because my 2 initiator players, like Trent and Jonah, they calm a lot about how we want to set up rounds, how we want to adjust macro-wise, and even in the little details. So although a lot of teams think like, oh, the IGL probably says most of the round, like, my guys got me too. So we're just a collectively high IQ group about the game, and so it feels like if one guy is slipping a little bit, someone can pick it up.
We have one more, I believe, and this is going to be from your guys' most recent match versus Sentinels, as you qualified in the first seed to come to this tournament. I have not seen this clip. Production's been talking it up. They say it's a nutty one, so I'm really looking forward to this.
Oh, it's...
So I mean, I'm sure I've watched it in passing, but I did not prepare specifically for this interview. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this goes. So you're at 11 and 8.
This clip might be the reason we're sitting here right now.
No,
Okay.
actually, we were up 11-3 and we lost every single round, and they were gaining momentum. So like, if we lost this, who knows? But we never lose these. No.
All right. So stealth drone, no real contact quite just yet.
Yeah.
Vice
Docks down, steel guard and out. Force
like
up the sheriff. Okay. Oh, the fake out.
Big kill from Zek in there, honestly. And Bang blows up the round, but we're alive.
Yeah, I like looking at this as a commentator. I'm like, okay, the round is a wash. So I'm very curious as to how
Playing
this comes
this
back.
was the same feeling.
Yeah.
All right, so right here, I get flashed. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I tell Valen I'm dead. I get a kill on narrate. He was slipping. And right here.
That kill was the winner.
That's, yeah.
So as soon as he Yoru ulted, I know to run to Jonah, even though I caught a lot of spam, because he's probably going to try to target him. So I just ran and then easy reposition.
On a 1 to 10 scale, how chaotic are the comms in a moment like this?
Honestly,
not this specific moment here where as the round gets ready to wrap up, but like when everything just kind of starts falling to pieces on that entry, how chaotic
yeah,
is it?
like especially when it's like 5v5 and we start getting picked slowly, there's a lot of comms going on. I'm like, because they're in unexpected positions. And then once it was just me and Jonah,
it was very calm.
It was ice cold. It was just like, yam flash, I'm probably dead. And then he gets a kill. Wait, one heaven dead. I'm like, wait, this is winnable. And it's just silence in the 1v1. Yeah.
Well, clearly your guys' your cool, calm demeanors, your perseverance, it is all paid off. G2 right now, looking on top. I cannot wait to see how you guys are going to be performing at this tournament. I think it's going to be an absolute epic one for you guys. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'm looking forward to the future. So hopefully you guys have a very strong one for us. But that's going to do it for us. So thank you guys for watching.
It's been a great journey for this course so far, but that was before Mimi. They had Jogamo.
And Jogamo was the guy that people thought would bring G2 from a contender to a team that is going to be winning trophies this year. And thus far, he's been fine. He's been solid. He showed up in their games, had his moments, but he hasn't been the superstar that people expected. And I think when you look at a G2 that is in a elimination moment, that is in a very tough position, you have to harken back to this guy at his finest when he was winning trophies, taking over on the dive duelist. He's playing the Yoru now. It's harder to have that same impact, but I think in a match like this, you have to see the best from Jogamo, and he has to prove why he was that long-awaited player that people thought would bring G2 to the next level.
Yeah, and he's going up against a team that's already in this tournament. Kakuka proved that they are a contender.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that yesterday we saw amazing things coming in from the side of Team Liquid. Do not get me wrong, this Abyss was messy at best. So many advantages thrown by the other team. You could feel the tension, you could feel the nerves in so many of this place. But everything went out the window when we got to that map number 3. Nats came alive and he completely obliterated Sentinels. Now, there is a parallel there between what happened against EDG and G2 and what we saw yesterday, and it's those long matches staying here until up very, very late and probably losing a little bit of their own, like their force.
Yeah, it's almost exactly the same, right? For both America's teams. Lose a tight overtime and then get stomped on that final map. And last time it was all about Team Liquid doing so.
Yeah, and this Liquid, they haven't faced G2 just yet, but Patty Tech has. This is what he had to say to Mika Fabs earlier.
Hey guys, we are back in the tuk-tuk, this time with Patatek of Team Liquid. Now Patatek, you are quite familiar with G2. You went up against them thrice in Master Shanghai and eventually you took the dub. So I'm wondering what was the key to beating G2 that time and how is that going to translate to Team Liquid today?
Definitely losing 2 best of 3s before winning a best of 5. But I think what will happen is like, if we're gonna be in control, we're gonna win the game. So let's see what's gonna happen.
Let's see indeed. Well, let's get going. Driver?
I don't know if I trust Jen to bring them here, but the one person that had full trust in Nats was his #1 fanboy, Chichu. To put into perspective, Chichu did not tweet when he won his game. He did not tweet, barely tweeted when he won Champs, but when his GOAT was performing against Sentinels, he tweeted.
I just want someone to love me the way Chichu
Yeah,
loves Nats.
Bro was so excited, he didn't take a screenshot. He took out his phone camera and snapped a pic of the VLR.
Can you blame him? Can you blame him? Because this performance.
This was maybe the greatest individual performance on a map in a long time. Nats was single-handedly backing up the years and looking like he was playing on Gambit again. No access to sight, indeed. He was just perfect on that
Almost
bind.
a 4 KD. That was unreal. I think that we all, when we were watching, we saw that one round where he gets the clutch, and he knew at that very moment that he was not leaving this stage without a win. So I'm just gonna take this and hope for the best for G2.
But I mean, it's going to be more difficult to do it twice, more difficult to do it back-to-back, and more difficult to do it against the G2, which you guys have mentioned, have looked very, very strong. It's time to close out the Swiss stage. This is it. Show some love and bring out, potentially for the last time, G2 and Team Liquid.
Team Liquid, Hopka, D2.
There is only one spot left for playoffs, and it comes down to a classic regional matchup. EMEA versus Americas in this showdown is G2 versus Team Liquid, and the loser will be going home today.
Back in EMEA, it was a lower bracket run for Team Liquid. They're comfortable here. They made it to the finals here. But for G2, seeing them on the verge of elimination is a shock for a team that had such high expectations.
And of course, we have to bring out the conversation around the map, Vito. What is going to happen? We saw G2 leaving that bind open, EDG peeking onto it, and them getting the defeat. The good thing about Team Liquid is, as you were saying, Mimi, a lower bracket run, especially the one from Liquid and EMEA, guaranteed them so many reps on so many maps, so many things that they tested, so many things that they changed as well. But for G2, those numbers are smaller.
Yeah, and also, do they want to play against G2 on Pearl? Surely it's going to be the exact same thing as yesterday. Yeah, there we go, where they float the Lotus.
But they lost yesterday to Sand on Lotus. G2 also very good on that map. So I think that one's tough for Team Liquid. But it's interesting to see the binds left open and TL not go into that one again. They looked lights out the last time they played that, and it was a big struggle for G2.
Yeah, I think they just want to go for comfort, like this split is out. I think that #2, it has to be that haven for them. I also love the Lotus. I think that is going to be a brilliant map to see from both of the teams.
I think all things considered, this is a really nice map pool for Team Liquid. Yeah. Them getting Abyss as the third map, that's the map they want to play every single time. So you feel pretty happy if you're them about this.
And especially thinking about how the Americas team have done in that third map. If we get there, I heavily favored Liquid because that is probably their best map.
You say that, but I think it's really strong for G2 as well. It's the one map in this pool where we're going to get to see Leaf play on the Chamber. They have really good macro on their attack side. They proved that when they stomped Trace. So I think they have a real fighting chance on map 3 if we do get there.
If we do get there. But let's talk about this first map pick here. How do you guys feel about them picking the Haven?
It's just comfort territory for Team Liquid. They looked really good on this in EMEA. Both teams play the Breach tail. The biggest difference is that G2 is locking the Vise, pulling out the Yoru, and they have a ton of great ideas cooked up to combine with Jojimo's Yoru.
And I want to see if the preparation is going to be on the side of Liquid here, because as I'm saying, even though they get all those reps, there is also all that day to watch for G2. We know that they're going to be heavy on prep, and they feel so comfortable with this composition.
No Yoru clone to deal with the Vise. I think the attack side, Nats has to be figuring out how to bait out this utility, call around it, and find the right site at the end of these rounds.
And I'm going to say this again, Kamek on that. Tejo is fantastic on Haven. We're ready to get this elimination match started. So let's send it over to your casters. Here's Panda.
I love the nickname. It's just making me smile, and so is this game. America's up against EU. I mean, you can't help but love it, but the momentum couldn't be more different between these two, right? You've got G2 coming off a devastating loss, right? Heart-wrenching sort of thing. And then Liquid with probably the upset so far that's caught my eye, somehow besting Sen in a way I didn't think possible.
Yeah, the way that third map closed out was just simply ridiculous. Now they have a chance to eliminate another team from Americas, but this G2 squad was looking so fierce. If you'd asked who wins this series 5 days ago, everyone says G2 2-0. Now,
100%.
We're not so sure.
No, because again, look, I'll never beat the allegations about my EMEA love, but anyone in their right mind would have picked G2, right? Seeing what we'd seen, everything looking good, but there's something in the water. We had a Nats that was such a vintage performance, but that's all aside for now. Team Liquid going to be starting out on that attacking side, and of course on the other, G2 need to look locked in here today.
Yeah, G2 doing a lot of work to clear out any late wraps, any late lurks going in, but what it means for G2 is with 2 players on the flank, this retake is going to be fairly weak coming out of spawn, and Team Liquid are set up with 3 players eyeing this choke.
Look at the timing, maybe to get the pinch right, but it's actually Leaf to go down first. Allows them now time to worry about that flank. The trip's been broken, the eye should turn, and suddenly all this pressure feels a little bit segmented. It's not having the same impact. Oh, Nats might be back, baby! I'm so terrified if he has another performance like he did against Sen. G2 might be done.
I'm watching that round thinking just not again, not again. That was just the America's killer yesterday on the Viper, now on the signature Cypher too. But really in this round, I think Team Liquid choosing to fight 5 players on site, looking so much towards C-Link there, did wonders to counter out what G2 were trying to accomplish on that multi-flank.
And we kind of talk about it as well in this. I do want to see Liquid keep this round clean. They're going to be up against what looks like classics, but bigger picture, G2 have tape on Liquid, so if you're going to be like coping super hard about the EDG stuff, you could say maybe there wasn't enough tape on EDG to see what they were going to be like with that new meta. Nonsense, but sure, maybe that's the way you see it. You've got tape on Liquid here. This is something you can really lean into. This team has played a great deal, so there should be no excuses.
It's also not a revolutionary comp or anything like this from Team Liquid, as they make quick work again. G2, I'm a little surprised to see them showing so many of these flank looks already round 1, round 2, but that early conditioning, trying to keep that in the back of Team Liquid's minds that, hey, G2 are going to be testing those extremities.
Again, when you've got someone like Nats, I feel like we're saying his name a lot in this, you're going to be thinking about flanks a lot of the time, considering it's one of your biggest kind of, I don't even say win cons, but it certainly looks good with him at a 5-0 start. And someone else who's not necessarily fall below the conversation line, but Kiko coming out of that regular season was probably one of the front runners in my mind, certainly putting up numbers here. Outside of that as well, Patatech didn't have the best performance either, even in their victory, I would say. Considering we know his heights, I'll be very interested to see how he does here coming into this game up against G2, who are now at least on that bye.
Yeah, the fun there of Patatech back against G2 he played with back in the dawn of Valorant. But look at this, Joggamo stepping down into mid here.
Trying to be aggressive, assertive, and it might be rewarded. It is! Back-to-back damage, looking for a third, and he actually might get out with his life. No trade, no punish. It's Nats to try and claim at least something back with a pick towards Leaf.
Now look at this, once again, G2, 1 player on the flank, now looking for the retake. Coming into the site, Joggamo's already found 3.
Yeah, this time he's not letting this one slip. It's all down to Nats. The 1v4, made to a 3, but it doesn't matter. G2 calm and composed, and I love them stamping authority of confidence with Jorg on that mid-walk.
Yeah, they just find that moment to slip over into Bunny, and you could see Jaw as well, sort of eyeing, do I go for the flash and peeking for that 3rd kill? He chooses not to, and I think that decision sort of saved the round. It was very near to falling apart here after he gets that 2nd, right? Because he hadn't quite converted. But G2 keep things composed, and Jaw already looking good here to start.
And I think that's something that's essential to this team, is getting Jaw having that big performance as well. Seeing him light things up, do well, get that confidence building early. As I said, we do talk about that disparity in those previous results, how much that can affect a player's mental going in, but now we're going to have at least Liquid on the buy, so we see what they can do with theirs. No massive ults to bank on. Yeah, they've got Natses, but it's not exactly a headliner.
No, not at all. It's interesting to see Team Liquid moving into this mid space once again. G2 a little bit overcommitted towards A early on in the round. By throwing that early cage, Team Liquid thinking they could keep an extra player over there. A little blast from the breach is going to push them back, and Camo will do good to break the Vise wall on B. Early into the round as well, they only wasted 30 seconds to deal with that utility.
Yeah, and I'm looking to see them kind of go through the protocol list here. I want to see how well Liquid managed to navigate all of this.
Exactly. Now they've pulled players to B. It's time to re-clear A. It's just Jaw over there. And what they can do is, actually, if they take out Jaw, they remove that ultimate from the retake.
Okay, spots one. Stick around too long, and I like the reaction though from G2.
Yeah.
This pressure down middle.
They're walking down into mid, and Jaw is going to find 5 players. G2 can heat up on this flank and try to potentially pinch in, except that Team Liquid have already found the timing with Jaw falling down.
Okay, this is going from bad to worse here. Nats is holding the flank as well, he knows where everybody is! The original Icon is still doing this sort of work. Trent irrelevant to outcome, and Liquid made G2 look foolish.
That is crazy. I'm not joking, like, G2 were in a perfect position there.
Stunning, right?
Jaw's ultimate sees everyone. They've got a flank coming in, but Team Liquid react to it perfectly. Okay, well, they turn around, they get this kill, and then Nats is just finding kill after kill, spamming through this off of his ultimate. It's just a bit silly. Even the choice to fight into spawn, realizing that G2 are a bit scattered. Team Liquid are locked in.
And again, I was really liking how G2 looked. I couldn't compliment it enough. The reaction to re-clear, Middlebury proactive, pressure that flank. I loved it. It all fell apart in what felt like a second. So Util being, I think, kind of tested towards Garage early, and a very attentive start down A long from G2.
I love the single from Kiko. He can see if you pop over into the corner. That is gorgeous. It's just a fantastic anti-eco as well, because what have G2 done on every low buy? It's these slow creeps. Usually it was out into mid, but here realizing that A lobby is going to be that space.
Big identifier of the follow-up player as well. They're not really falling for any of the tricks here. Joel trying to make something happen for himself, but there's no one really taking this, right? No one wants to walk into it. There'll be no reason to. And it looks like Liquid do have this preference to going towards this B site approach.
Yeah, I think they've realized a couple times now that G2 are grouping up very heavily, trying to fight around Jogamo. Spotting that out, dodging, getting free entrances into the site.
Yeah.
Has every round just been an open site?
So far, it kind of felt a little like it. There is a fight back in the form of Leaf, at least. The rest, again, clearing this deep flank, but I like this reposition from Liquid, pushing through the extremity, but Jaw is still around here, so he can backfill that a little bit.
Jaw's going to be pretty critical if G2 are going to have a chance here on the eco.
If you're Liquid, you've got to be wondering, where the hell are they? They've got to get moving, and Valorant's done really well. Patatek goes down, and suddenly you're starting to get a bit more nervous on the side. Jaw appears. We said he was critical, and he is, but the one man still standing, brought to his knees. G2 with a little switch up in pace there, patient on the play back in, and they keep the scoreline close.
Yeah, honestly, when you look at that round, it looked like Team Liquid had the right read, because they're getting flanked, so they fight forward, but then they backed off. They didn't want to overfight. They got stuck sort of on this B site, and as soon as they lost the one fight over towards garage window, then that pinch comes in, right? This gun goes down, they've got to look too many directions, and Jaw, off of info from his teammates on minimap, is finding spam kills with a stinger through smoke.
And I feel like G2 really needed that, right? That's a little bit of a weight off the shoulders. You're not getting so worried, the scoreline doesn't feel so massive anymore. You've got a nice little divide there from Valen as well. You're going to be one away from Trent. A couple big ults here, right? Giving you some of those keys for potentially retaking on some of these very tricky sites. But as it stands, operator out for Camo.
Yes.
New look here.
Sitting that op down underneath window in mid is really interesting. I think what Camo's sort of reading here is it's usually been an early A open, and then after Team Liquid have fought into mid, G2 have moved multiple players onto the B site and can maybe catch a player over peeking for that one. And it's not a bad read, especially with his teammates making presence into garage. A lot of times the response is to walk out of B.
But G2 are willing to retake this space. They'll put bodies behind it to clear those question marks. And Jaw is in the right place again. That's big info, though, for Kiko.
Team Liquid now, though, with a little bit of trouble because they haven't found anything with the op. The round is slowing down, but maybe Alert could open things up. If Kiko hears the footsteps coming across, Team Liquid can choose to speed up into the A side or reset back into that lurk.
I like this.
Beautiful.
I really like that. Camo, patience pays for Team Liquid here. Smoke going to go in, and it's going to force G2 to... you kind of feel like you have to commit to this.
They're already flooding.
They have to go for it. He's seen him. He's absolutely seen him. Jonah B going to find Nats, but it's Kamek to instantly trade out. He was spotted early. But do they know about this man? Jogmo's still here. It's labored. It's not pretty enough. Kamek controlling. How did Kamek get all of those?
Kamek just takes that distraction, I think, from Camo and just lines him up. Takes him down, no problem. Team Liquid, I really thought they were going to be in some kind of problem with that flood coming into the site. We'll check it out again in the replay. Of course, great work here on that first shot to knock Trent out of it. And even once Nats is lost, Team Liquid, okay, Camo hunts down the one player into short. And then, yeah, resets to cover his teammate. Beautiful work.
That's going to be a bit of a stressor for G2. going to feel nice here because it is going to put the money in a pretty uncomfortable predicament. You're going to be down on a hero Vandal for Valen, Guardian for Jonah P. And that round I quite liked what they were doing. Again, quite proactive. They seem to be in the right places here, but they're behind the curve on towards A. Trent going down leads the gates open. I'm a bit worried. And we're seeing Liquid looking composed. It's this patience. I hope that's composure.
It's almost too much patience out of Camo with a knife in his hand.
Don't start.
Curious. Well, he's doing a lot of very good tricks right now.
It'll be fine. I'm getting flashbacks, man. Like, don't do this.
The thing is, I've only seen...
This feels really weird.
I've only seen Nats and Patatek move, and it's about 2 steps each.
I feel like this is a tech pause.
I think so, too.
I don't want to say it yet, because then I'm really cursed. And I know I'm cursed at this point.
How iced are G2 off of this, though? Like, where are Team Liquid? We haven't seen any utility.
Don't. Okay, well, hopefully we find out what's going on. I mean, clearly G2 haven't got the memo, but they'll be going, guys, there's nothing happening. That's weird.
Well, do you think this could just be a Team Liquid save?
Yeah. The old French save, just no one saying
you know, look, we're 30 seconds left in the round. They haven't really gotten any information of where G2 are on the map. So it's hard to exec now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, do I need to go up there and call? There was no damage done, right? Yeah, we'll see. We'll get an update for you guys, so do, you know.
Don't panic, don't panic.
Panic.
No panicking.
Panic.
It's going to be fine.
I don't know if it is. I really don't know if it's going to be okay.
How do we feel about Trent hunting down the players?
It's a little naughty, isn't it? A little naughty. A little naughty, Trent. Relax. Round's going to be rolled back, though, isn't it?
I believe that's the call.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to see who it was. I swear one was like looking at their mouse a bit. Have we got a mouse issue? We go. Oh,
see, I've heard a lot about the famous Pansy tech pause. I never thought I would have the pleasure of experiencing it here today.
I'm sorry to do this to you. I genuinely wait. I want to see what's he messing with. What is it, keyboard, mouse?
Turning the volume down.
It looked like a mouse problem. I don't know, man. It is wild that this happens to me. I don't think we've had that many tech pauses, have we?
No, I don't really think so. And I do believe I just heard that we got a confirmation the round is 100% being rolled back here, so.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Everything's fine.
If anything, the teams had a little bit more time to think about what their approach was going to be coming into the round.
And do you think G2 enjoyed that?
No.
No.
The worst part is, too, like, if you think about the sequence of rounds we just saw, G2 win that eco round, right? And then they've got the bye, it's going great, the clock's getting a little bit low, and then that one slips away and they're forced back onto yet another eco.
That's rough.
So we genuinely haven't seen G2 win a actual buy versus buy round, because all they've got was the anti-bonus and that eco so far.
Good. Oh, it's a gear pause. Wait, he's up and about. Go on, cameraman. I dare you to be brave and show him up and about. Yeah, that's what I like to see. he's behind the desk. Someone get tech support up there. Help the poor man.
Has he tried unplugging it and plugging back in?
No, that is the classic fix, isn't it? Just very different. It'll be fine, I swear to you. Poor old Camo, man. He's having a day, isn't he? He's trying to stay locked in. It wasn't mouse. It was keyboard.
No, it was keyboard. That'll happen.
And it's going to take about 10 minutes as well for the in-ears coming back in.
Yeah.
And the headphones. Get cozy. You know.
I'm surprised we haven't seen anyone kick the chair all the way back yet. That's my favorite.
Oh, you mean like the full lead back?
the full OSBOS, as we call it.
Do you think G2 would after this start?
No. Honestly, I feel like G2 have to be locked in.
It'd only be, I feel like, who could do it?
Because also
10-3, by the way.
Think about G2's situation, right? Because they played 2 days ago. Have that insane overtime match versus EDG. Play another. The third map, they get sort of blasted out of the water. So then they are chilling at the hotel. They're watching Team Liquid series yesterday. It's like, oh, Sentinels, it's not looking too bad for them. And then they see what Nats did to them on map 3. Then you come into today, and Nats has 9 kills in the first 4 rounds.
And it does feel like I didn't want to kind of curse it, right, when you're talking about Nats, because it was like a one-off level performance to see him peak that high.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, Nats is very good, everyone knows that, but to that extent, he exploited a lot of the issues that Sen had. I'd be incredibly impressed if he finds consistency at that level of excellence, but so far so good at 10-3. We are back into this, so thank you for your patience. 4 rounds to Team Liquid and 2 to G2. And now we get back to business.
Love the change of pace from Team Liquid this round. Getting it quickened, it's Nats with the operator. Okay.
It's not the first time you're going to see it, and it probably won't be the last. And you probably wouldn't expect him to outdo Jaw, but this time he does, and Kamek very aware of the angle.
Hold on now.
But Jonah P, cleaner with it, controlling towards middle.
Trent the only A player right now, and it's just a Sheriff in hand, but Valon's got a hero rifle, Jonah's already gotten one with the Guardian, and there's some pretty hefty ultimates for G2 to try and convert this numbers advantage.
Okay, they're building. Nats here, going to get the ult. He can go back down towards Sewer.
Oh, that ultimate is going to try and push players into Leaf, who sprinted up into window.
It makes no difference. I know. They can pause on this one. They're going to get the info on the ult here unless Leaf moves now, and he... Oh! How the heck did they get away with that? Nats was almost dead. It looked almost so likely, but Patatek finds some space on the side. Valon on the side swing takes him down, and suddenly Liquid are being held at the door. They're not getting the access they want, but Nats still alive, an operator in hand. Let's see. Nats, is this like the game against Sent? You've been spotted. Uh-oh, Kiko's unraveling the crossfires, but Jonah P and Trent will not let that slide. A Mastercard Thrifty coming in, and G2 just stay off the guns.
It's just another eco that they're winning. It's just a little bit silly. Quite frankly, like Jonah P finds that opening kill into mid, right? That's a big one. They toss 2 ultimates in to make sure they're securing it. It's a little bit shocking, especially considering that, okay, yeah. We took him down. Jaw had a Marshall. It's not a true 1v1 just yet.
Again, and I do.
T1 will move up 7-4.
This is a wild round. The spike drops over on A. That leads to T1 shifting their weight over to that side of the map. And that kind of leaves the players that are over on B on an island, because DRX has snuck so far up without anybody on T1 being the wiser. So then Spike gets picked up by Mako after he gets the trade onto Izu. They book it back over to the B site, but it's a great read from Meteor and Stax. They're able to get there just in time before the spike arrives and shut a couple players down. Freeing does a great job breaking this open, but then they're just not quite ready. The timing is just a little bit faster than they anticipated. Fantastic calling from Stax here. Great recognition. I know Buzz is, okay, yeah.
Upset at first into elation. As now we go into the last round of the half. DRX looking to try to get themselves into a 7-5 position. Glass cannon for flashback. As all these players starting to inch forward. Izu tucking back behind the screens, eating an immense amount of damage. That's going to force him to go ahead and take that gate crash across, but he's still nearby. They might suspect that he's a little bit further off than he is. We'll have to just wait and see for now. Flash is getting ready to pop through. Fake outs go flying. Bane, the first to fall, to push into the smoke. Sylvan able to find another. Gun barrel spotted there. Anticipating the push out. Gunman able to find Izu. Meteor someone's going to be taking down the bus. Still here. Still fragging. Still fighting kills. As Stax dives in to get the finisher. 8-4. T1 out in front of the half.
That is an unbelievable half there for T1. Those floods were insane, but we're going to take a short break, guys. Another half of Pearl coming up.
Red Bull gives you wings.